we are here again with my beautiful experts sharing about manifestation, about our event, Supercharge Your Manifesting Powers. And see, we are coming all charged up. And just imagine of the energy that everybody just emits during this event. And if you are going to register, you are going to be part of this beautiful energetic field where we are all like batteries recharging from each other, and you're gonna soak up so much knowledge, tips, tools, the breakthroughs, everything is coming your way. Tobi, just tell a little bit about yourself for somebody who just tuning in the first time, what you're doing, and what is there beautiful for them to learn.
Well, I'm a healer. I'm an empath. I'm a light worker. I'm an earth angel, and I'm on a mission to impact 1 million this year. And I hop into every summit possible. I jump into every speaking engagement possible, and I jump into these kind of events every chance I get as well to bring you guys a bang of knowledge, hoping that you guys will soak it all in, apply it to your life, and you'll feel the changes immediately for yourself. And this event particularly is quite special because you don't need to clear your schedule for it, guys. You register. Irina set it up so that in the morning you get it in your inbox. You could watch it in your leisure time. You could fit it into your lunch break. You could break it down over your breaks in the day. You can sit down munching, having a snack, watching it at night. Guys, it's a perfect kind of event. You can be in the comfort of your own home and just chilling out, listening to the speakers.
So much wisdom, right, Tobi? Thank you so much. It's like, hey, rather than watching the movie, let's watch this real time show, right?
Yeah.
Gemma, tell a little bit about yourself and why people want to tune in.
Oh my gosh. First of all, we are all manifesting all the time. That's a fact, regardless if you believe me or not. It's a fact. It's a scientifically proven physical fact. So you better know what you're doing, right? So how to know what you're doing and how you're manifesting your life, and especially when you look around you and you say, like, I don't like my job, I don't like my home, I don't like my car. You say, okay, who did bring that upon yourself? Hint, it starts with why. So technically, if you learn all the ropes of the science of manifestation, the art is in the choosing. The science is how it works. So if now you tune in that specific masterclass, you will learn how to supercharge your manifesting powers. You already have them, but now you are going to ignite them, know what to do, understand how to feel, understand what to think, understand what to feed your mind, so that your subconscious mind gives you back what you want, not what you don't want. This is why you want to register. This is why you want to be present. You have all the links everywhere in the description under this video. You have all the link. Connect with us personally, Irina, Tobi, myself. It's easy. Just do it. And if you do not have the time every day to spare 15 or 20 minutes or half an hour twice, you can always upgrade and receive all of that. A small fee. It's really ridiculously low fee. And you can have it all. So there is no excuse. Just do it right in here, right now. No waiting. We see you on the other side. And we are all here to entertain you and tell you, let us tell you stories. Irina, what is a story that you have in your heart that ignited your understanding of the law of attraction?
Oh, such a powerful question. First of all, the law of attraction is real, right? Because if some people are still questioning it, I challenge you, sign up for this event and you'll see for yourself how it truly works, right? But a lot of times, like when I start thinking about my life in the past and how I was manifested unconsciously, but it was working, right? And just the other day, what came to my mind, when I remember, when, like we always talk about, okay, we are vibrating on the frequency, and once we start vibrating on a certain frequency, we start attracting everything on that frequency. Whatever you are attracting at this point, that's exactly, you can measure your frequency at which you are vibrating at, right? And just recalled that, that point in my life when I was in between the jobs. And it's interesting factor that happens, right? I update my resume, and then I'm waiting for these recruiters to call me when I'm gonna be called for the interview. And it like happens here and there, like very, like sporadically. There is nothing guaranteed, right? But I always go there like optimistic, knowing that I have this number in my mind, and I'm not settling for anything less. And that's exactly what happened when I had my daughter, because I had a break and I didn't work because I had to leave when I was 3 months pregnant, because I had very bad morning sickness. And then I stood with her until she was 9 months old, when my mom retired and she picked it up. And when I was going through these interviews, I remember I was hearing that accounting firm, and the lady told me, "Well, you have the break in service. So the only good way, if you'd be lucky if you can match that salary that you left with at your prior job, right?" And I just stood strong in my power without even knowing that this is exactly what I was manifesting. I said, you know what? If I had to settle for that, I said I might as well just stay with my child rather than paying the babysitter, right? And eventually, like in a couple of months, I attracted exactly the job for the money that I had in my mind, right? And the same happened with when we consciously creating, because if we keep pushing ourselves and being persistent and not giving up and not settling for something, right? And what happened then? Once I got the job, all of a sudden I started to receive other phone calls from the recruiters. I'm like, what is going on? If there is nothing, then nothing. And when everything is coming the same time. And that's exactly how the frequency works, right? Once you are on that wave of that frequency, you start attract everything. But at that point, I didn't realize, but it was an interesting observation on my side. So that's exactly what I wanted to share, because we always attract, but we attract on the frequency that we are vibrating. And how do we actually raise our frequency? Join the event and you're going to find out how. Tobi, what about your personal story?
Oh, wow. I had to die a couple of times to stay alive. So I
Mm.
manifested life. So if I can do that, I can manifest anything. But the thing is, what people don't realize is with every breath, every inhale, and every exhale, you are exchanging with the universe. So you have to be consciously aware of your frequency and what you're pumping out, and also aware of the desired effects you want, because you have to be clear about becoming the frequency and matching the frequency of the outcome that you want in order for it to truly manifest. And you guys, I could not manifest life if I was thinking, oh, I'm going to die, right? And I can't manifest all an easy life and a business that I've just opened and launched a business. Well, I can't be sitting there planting seeds thinking they're not going to grow. And you plant a garden to eat from it. You don't plant a garden to think or doubt that you're going to have a harvest. See, this is so that you can supercharge it. This is why you guys got to hop into the event, because you're going to learn all about it.
Yes, and can I just add quickly? Like when we are gonna put the seed of corn, we cannot get anything out but the corn, right, out of it. So the same thing happens, whatever seed we are putting into our minds and what we are nurturing, And that's exactly what the harvest we are going to collect. And if we constantly sit in the doubt, if we constantly sit in the fear and the like a skepticism, when we do not believe that this is working, guess what, we are producing that kind of harvest.
Yeah, and I mentioned that. Sorry to jump in, but I mentioned that one of the other day on one of the lives. I told people you cannot plant carrots and expect to get broccoli.
Mm-hmm.
It's as
Totally.
simple as that. And you can't be wanting such a loving partner if you are a shitty partner yourself. You see,
Mm-hmm.
you got to become the frequency of what you want to attract. So if you want to attract great health, well, then you have to become a healthy person, thought wise, speech wise, action wise. There's a lot of things that you have to do to match the frequency to get the outcome and result that you want. So I highly
Mm-hmm.
suggest you guys jump in to learn how to supercharge your powers, your manifesting
Woohoo.
powers.
Totally. Gemma, how about your story?
Tobi, I love how you really you nail it. I truly love it. Thank you so much
I love
for
you too,
sharing
Gemma.
those examples. It's amazing. So right. So right. I want to share a story. I was talking about that with Irina yesterday, and
Mm-hmm.
it's my first experience of manifestation, but I didn't know it was called manifestation. First of all, I grew up in the French-speaking region of Switzerland. I didn't speak English, so I was immersed in French. That was my language. I had some understanding of German and English, but really like basic level, not enough to actually interact. And I received a book that was called Grow Rich While You Sleep by Ben Sweetland. I received, of course, the French version, which sounds like La Fortune en dormant, which really means wealth while you sleep. That's the direct translation. So it's like you look at the picture and you see someone sleeping with an alarm clock, and basically money flows in, and it's like, huh, really, like really, of course. I mean, yeah. However, however, um, um, 20 more minutes to go. However, we are going to read that book. And that book told us a concept. Let's say that the conscious mind is the boss, and the subconscious mind is the employee. And the employee will do whatever the boss asks the employee to do. Okay, that's the concept. And you have to actually instruct the subconscious mind, meaning the employee, just before falling asleep and just when you wake up, like those key transition moments. And I said, okay, I can try that. During that period of time, I was manifesting one thing. I had no money, no job, a 3-year-old toddler. I returned living at my parents' place after 5 years of domestic violence that I just left from the father of my baby. And I was building up my life as a 21-year-old young mother of a 3-year-old toddler. Already, like it's already a weird situation, but that was my situation at that time. And I was just picking back up the violin because I learned to play the violin professionally. And I did actually stop a few years prior because of all the abuse. However, I wanted to pick it up because that was still me. And when I picked it up, I actually met someone in an orchestra, and that someone actually moved to Paris. And Paris was 2 hours or 3 hours by train away from Geneva, Switzerland. And I said, okay. And he kept on begging me, like, when are you coming to visit me with your violin and we can play together? And I was there, I don't know. I don't have a job. I don't have money, so I don't know. And then he said, but just make up a date and come on. And I was there, all right. I go to the train station and I purchase a train ticket for 40 days in the future, because everywhere I hear that 40 days time period that actually shift things around. And I said, okay, 40 days in the future, it's going to be November 21st, 2002. Okay, I go with that. I just used $200 I didn't have on my bank account that allowed me to go under zero to do that. I would never ever tell that to my father, who were holding all the finances together. Never ever tell that to my mother, who was just following my father. And I was just like, I know I'm crazy, but you know what? I'm just going to apply what I read in that book because maybe, just maybe, let me have an experiment. And if it fails, well, I'll get a refund shortly before and I'll try again. So it's not the end of the world anyway. Okay. Before falling asleep, I imagine I have my violin on my back. I have $300 in my pocket. I'm arriving in Paris and I'm meeting my friend and we're having a good time. Okay. And I know that when I'm doing that, I have a job of undetermined duration, not a 1 or 2 months thing, undetermined duration that pays good enough money to actually sustain me. Okay, that's the order. Notice one thing, very short, very simple, to the point, a very short imagination, very short moment that I imagine, but that contains the essence of what I'm manifesting at that time. Fast forward, 7 days before the date, I get hired for undetermined length job. And I find my second long-term relationship that same day. You were saying that, Irina. I got the same experience. That same day, I got both. And 1 week later, I was indeed in Paris with indeed $300 in the pocket, with indeed a job. And on top of that, a boyfriend. It's like, what did I do? My God. So I actually completely manifested that experience from within, not knowing I was manifesting, just applying. When you fall asleep, you imagine that. When you wake up, you ask your employee, so your subconscious mind, what did you come up with? How are we going to get that done? Okay. And I went through the motion, exploring the newspaper, asking here and there, going to interviews, trying something, declining things that were not good, and continuing. And it worked. And I knew nothing about manifestation. I just did it.
Wow. What a beautiful share. And you know what? I really catch that moment when you said you just took this $200, went to get the ticket without even realizing how are you going to do it, right? And that's exactly how the manifestation works. All we need is to to make a decision, because it's just like that energy direction, right? Once we make that decision, our brain is already focused. Okay, this is our destination, this is where we are heading, right? And miraculously it starts building these action steps, one step after another, one step after another. And then the opportunities are opening up, right? When we are actually in the receiving mode, when we are staying in the receiving mode, we do encounter the people that are going to have the information what we need. We are going to be at the time, as a lot of people say that this is a coincidence to be in the right time and the right place. No, it's all based on our frequency. It's, cause and effect law. It works like a magic.
Yeah, the cause and effect law. I got to jump in there. Yeah, you got to be the cause of the effects that you want in your life. You can't be living
Mhm.
off of the effects that are causing you everything. You got to be the cause to the effects of anything that you want in your life. I'm going to mention, you'll hear about it in the Supercharge Your Manifesting Powers when I speak. But listen, I was laying there in intensive care, given 16 hours to live, total organ failure, total septic shock, kidneys shut down, not viable, told that I was not eligible for a transplant because at the time they had considered and deemed me as a drug addict. They told me that if I got out of there, I would need dialysis on my kidneys. There's no way I could survive it. Well, I never thought it possible when I was laying there feeling my lungs fill with blood. And as I was taking my breaths, all I could taste was blood. But with a simple choice, I turned it around. And I turned, instead of 16 hours of life left, while I'm sitting here 10 years later telling you about it. Like literally, guys, life happens to us all. And we've been running on a systematic, unaware programming that has given you and has been the cause of your effects in your life. These things have been handed down generationally. They have been silenced. They have been avoided. Now it's time to stand up in your rightful power and manifest the results that you want. Because everybody's been living according to what every generation before us wanted. Now it's time to stand up in your power and own who you are, authentically you, what your heart's desiring authentically to you, because it doesn't matter what another person, place, or thing says about it. It is yours. It's your experience. So I encourage you all to step up in the power of your being and learn how to manifest and be the cause of the effects that you want in your life. Because if not, yes, you will continue to feel exactly how you're feeling. And there's only two spirals when you're living in life. You're either on a downward spiral with a downward frequency, or you are thriving upward with an upward frequency, being able to attract everything that you want. But let's not get it twisted, because when you're operating on that downward spiral, you're attracting all of that too. So no matter what frequency you embody, if you are embodying shame, you are attracting everything in your life to be shameful about. If you are embodying guilt, well, you have every experience in your life to make you feel guilty. You must match the frequency to attract it. So what do I suggest you guys to do? Embody universal love, because that's the purest form you're born in. That's the state we're all born in before we're made to believe we are our name. Your purest state, you attract everything. When you learned how to roll over, when you learned how to crawl, you weren't thinking about your name or anybody else. You were thinking about, how do I maneuver this body to get that knee up? Okay? That's the way of thinking I want you guys back operating. That's when the real magic happens.
Oh my God, so powerful, so powerful. And that's exactly how it is. And if people are doubting it, at least keep the corner of your mind open for the possibility. That's my invitation, because you already know your life the way as it is. Why don't you explore something else? Right? There are different beautiful wonders that are awaiting for you. I know right now I'm just talking like woo woo, but it just brings all the best in all of us, right? Rather than just sitting and dwelling on, oh my God, the prices are up, oh my God, what's going on in the world, oh my God, I have to be secure, I don't know if I'm gonna have the job tomorrow, oh my God, my partner is running away from me, right? What do I do? And that's exactly where that manifestation comes, because it's not only about manifesting things that we want, but how do I actually tap into my inner power and connect with that power and realize that nothing outside of me, nobody or nothing is going to trigger my emotional peace and how I feel about myself? Because no matter what's going on in the 3D reality, I'm always regulating my emotions. My nervous system is in check, and I can actually navigate that life with ease and grace. And that's the power of manifestation.
Yes, very much so. What do you mean doubt it? I don't like to hear that anybody doubts anything, because they're breathing and they don't doubt the capacity to breathe. So that's what manifestation is. When you breathe, you're manifesting life. So don't doubt manifestation, because you do it with every breath. You are manifesting life as you breathe. So manifesting is as easy as breathing, as long as you're consciously creating. Because when you're not consciously creating, you are creating still. But that's your effects, boy. You feel you feel the effects.
Totally, Gemma.
Amazing. I truly love you guys. You are absolutely powerhouse experts. I keep on writing about 28 experts. We are all experts, especially the handpicked people that Irina chose, like with absolute real life experience, we can really impart on the audience, on the student, that life is what you want it to be. And there is something also today that came back to my mind. Are we going to fail at something? Yeah, sure, absolutely. But when we fail, what does it mean? It means that we fail to the level of our system, of our habits, of our mentality, of our subconscious mind running our life. That is the level to which we fail. Meaning that when you sign up to this type of masterclass, you raise your floor, you raise the lowest of your system, because now you become aware of how you breathe, how you think, how you feel, how all of that creates your life. And now the next blow and the next failure and the next bad news that comes your way, it's like, okay, hold on a second. I am the key. How am I going to click that key in the right sense so that I actually turn it upward, onward? Sign up right now if you haven't done it.
What a beautiful conclusion. So, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. And for people who are watching, please sign up, give that gift to yourself. Because sometimes we put ourselves at the last, right, in the line. Put yourself as a priority, because you are the priority. You are the person who is in charge of your own life. And please make it something that you're going to remember for the rest of your life. Thank you so much for coming. And again, we'll see you at the event.